What if the one thing everyone tells you to change is the one thing that makes you you? And what if your wedding day becomes the moment you finally stop listening to the noise? Lina Harper had always imagined her wedding day in pieces, not as one perfect picture. The laughter, the nerves, the quiet moments before the music started. But one detail was always crystal clear in her mind. She would walk down the aisle wearing her glasses. Lina was 24, lived in a quiet neighborhood outside Portland, and had worn glasses since she was 9 years old. They weren't just something she used to see better. They were part of her identity. Every morning for years, before coffee, before checking her phone, before anything else, she reached for her glasses. Without them, she didn't feel like herself. So when wedding planning began, Lina assumed this wouldn't even be a discussion. She was wrong. The comments started softly at first. A bridal consultant smiled politely and said, "You know, most brides switch to contacts just for the day." A makeup artist hesitated and added, "Glasses can be tricky in photos." Even well-meaning relatives chimed in with, "It's your big day, don't you want a different look?" Different, that word followed her everywhere. At family dinners, during dress fittings, in group chats filled with wedding ideas, the message stayed the same. Lose the glasses, just for one day. Lina tried to laugh it off. She nodded, said she'd think about it, changed the subject. But inside, something tightened every time. Because the truth was simple. Without her glasses, she didn't feel beautiful. She felt like she was playing a role. One night, weeks before the wedding, Lina stood in front of her bedroom mirror. She had tried on her dress again, this time without her glasses. Her reflection stared back at her, unfamiliar and distant. She didn't recognize the woman in the mirror. Her fiancé, Marcus, noticed immediately. He leaned against the doorway, arms crossed, watching her quietly. After a long pause, he said, "You look uncomfortable." That was it. Not ugly, not wrong, uncomfortable. Lina turned to him, eyes glassy. "I feel like I'm erasing myself," she admitted. Marcus walked over, gently picked up her glasses from the dresser and handed them to her. "Then don't," he said simply. She put them on. Her shoulders relaxed, her breath steadied. That moment changed everything. Still, the pressure didn't disappear. As the wedding day got closer, opinions got louder. Someone warned her she'd regret it when she saw the photos. Another joked that trends mattered more than comfort. Lina smiled through it all, but deep down she had already decided. The morning of the wedding arrived soft and quiet. Sunlight slipped through the curtains of the small bridal suite. The air smelled like hairspray, coffee, and nerves. As her friends buzzed around her, curling hair and adjusting lace, Lina sat silently, glasses resting on the table beside her. Every now and then, someone glanced at them. No one said anything. When her makeup was finished, the artist paused. "So, glasses?" she asked carefully. Lina smiled. "Yes," she said, without hesitation. When she finally put them on, something magical happened. Not flashy, not dramatic, just real. She looked in the mirror and smiled, not the polite smile she'd practiced for photos, but the one that reached her eyes. At that exact moment, Lina's friend began filming quietly on her phone. No filters, no posing, just Lina breathing, smiling, being herself. Later that day, as music filled the small garden venue and guests took their seats, Lina stood at the entrance, heart racing. Her hands trembled. Her glasses sat perfectly on her nose. When she walked down the aisle, something unexpected happened. People didn't stare at her glasses. They stared at her smile. Marcus's eyes filled with tears the second he saw her. After the ceremony, he whispered, "I've never seen you look more like you." That night was laughter, dancing, stolen kisses, and quiet moments under string lights. Lina forgot about the comments, she forgot about trends, she forgot about expectations. Days later, after the wedding glow had softened into memory, Lina posted the short getting ready video online. She added a simple caption, almost as a joke. "When you get married, everyone will tell you not to wear your glasses. It's very important you don't listen." She didn't think much of it. She expected maybe a few likes from friends. By morning, her phone wouldn't stop buzzing. Messages poured in, views climbed into the hundreds of thousands, then over 1 million. Some comments questioned her choice, but most were from women saying the same thing. "That looks like me. I needed to see this. I was told not to wear mine too." Lina sat on her couch, scrolling, overwhelmed. She hadn't tried to start a movement, she had just tried to be honest. If this story is hitting close to home, take a second to show some love, tap like on this video and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss stories that remind us it's okay to be ourselves. As Lina read comment after comment, something shifted inside her. This wasn't about glasses anymore. It was about permission. Permission to show up as yourself, permission to ignore the noise, permission to choose comfort over approval. And this was only the beginning. To be continued. Lina didn't expect her life to change after the wedding. She thought the video would fade, the comments would slow down, and everything would return to normal, but normal never came back. The days after the video went viral felt unreal. Her phone buzzed constantly, messages from strangers, notifications, emails she never asked for. Some were short. "Thank you." Others were long, emotional, and deeply personal. Women from different countries told her they cried watching her video. Some said they had cancelled contact lens appointments they didn't even want in the first place. Others shared wedding photos they'd hidden for years because they felt judged. Late one night, Lina sat on the floor of her living room, phone in hand, reading story after story. She wasn't smiling anymore. She was crying. One message stopped her completely. It was from a woman named Hannah, a teacher from a small town in the Midwest. She wrote about growing up being teased for her thick glasses, about how she'd always dreamed of her wedding day, but also feared it. "I was going to wear contacts even though they hurt," Hannah wrote. "I saw your video the night before my wedding. I wore my glasses today. I felt brave for the first time in my life." Lina pressed her phone to her chest and closed her eyes. Her hands shook. That was the moment she understood something important. This wasn't about her anymore. The internet, of course, wasn't all kindness. As the video spread, harsher comments appeared. Some said she ruined the fantasy. Others claimed she was encouraging people to lower standards. At first, Lina tried not to read them. But curiosity has a way of sneaking in late at night. One comment cut deeper than the rest. "You'll regret this when you're older and look back at the photos." Lina stared at the screen for a long time, then she did something unexpected. She opened her wedding album. She scrolled slowly. There she was, laughing, dancing, wiping tears from her cheeks. Glasses slightly crooked in some photos. Hair imperfect, smile completely real. There was no regret, only recognition. Marcus found her on the couch, album open, phone face down beside her. He sat next to her quietly. "You okay?" he asked. Lina nodded. "I just realized something," she said softly. "I didn't choose glasses over beauty. I chose myself." Marcus smiled. "That's why people felt it," he said. As weeks passed, interview requests came in, small blogs at first, then larger platforms. Everyone asked the same question in different ways. "Why didn't you just wear contacts?" Lina learned to answer calmly. "Because comfort matters, because authenticity matters, because I wanted to recognize myself." But behind the scenes, something else was happening. Lina started receiving messages from young girls, teenagers who felt awkward, kids who had been told to change before being accepted. One girl wrote, "I used to hide my glasses in my backpack. Now I wear them every day." Another said, "I showed your video to my mum. She stopped telling me to fix myself." Lina never planned to be a role model. She still spilled coffee on her shirts and forgot appointments. She still felt insecure sometimes. But now, she understood the weight of being seen. Months later, Lina was invited to speak at a small community event. No stage lights, no scripts, just a room full of people. She stood there, hands clasped, glasses on, heart racing. She told her story, not the viral version, but the quiet one. The doubts, the pressure, the mirror moment. When she finished, the room was silent, then applause. Not loud, but deep. Afterward, a woman approached her, eyes red. "I didn't wear my glasses at my wedding," she said. "I've always felt like I missed something. Thank you for giving it back to me." Lina hugged her without thinking. That night, driving home, Lina stared out the window. Streetlights blurred softly through her lenses. She smiled to herself. The world hadn't changed because of a pair of glasses, but people had remembered something important. That they don't owe perfection to anyone. That love doesn't require costume changes. That confidence isn't about approval, it's about alignment. Years from now, Lina knew trends would change again. Another right way would be pushed. Another version of beauty would be sold loudly. But somewhere, a bride would pause, look at herself, and choose honesty instead. And that was enough. Because the real glow doesn't come from changing who you are. It comes from finally letting yourself be seen. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this story, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends.